With the release of the 1.4.5 Terraria update, I felt like playing this game again. So I asked you guys if I should post some. Even though this is a roguelike channel, most of you said yes. So why not combine both things into this roguelike mod for Terraria? Here we are in TerRoguelike. I've never played it before, so I had no idea what I was doing. I quickly chose my class and my difficulty, not knowing this will be a huge mistake. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, so I just went for it. But I died. Then died some more. Then I defeated the first boss, which was good. But then I fucking died again, so it didn't matter. So I just decided to create a new character on a slightly lower difficulty, which, let me just say, went better than I had expected. I was ready to give it my all in this final try. So I quickly got my first item that gave me a critical chance buff. But I knew this wasn't enough, so I had to get to some later stages for better items. As you can see, I primarily used the gun for the start of the run. I then got my first healing item, so I pushed further. After some more damage buffs, I finally got my first red item, which is the best quality you can get. And after all these tries, I had finally reached the castle boss, the Paladin. This boss was definitely tougher than the tree one, so I was glad I beat him. The item drop wasn't that good though. When I got to the corruption, I didn't know what to expect. The gun was still the more viable option here, but I knew I'll have to use the sword later on. After getting some mid-ass items, I decided to give the sword a try. You were waiting for the sword? I was just playing around. And then, after some more mediocre loot, I had finally reached the parasite. This was the point when the sword really started to shine. And just like that, I had defeated the second boss of the run. The desert was probably my favorite area looks-wise. After more buffs, like movement, HP, and critical chance, I finally got to the desert boss. The Pharaoh Spirit. She used these tentacles that follow you around, but it didn't matter, because my healing was greater than her damage. Not that great of a drop, but we move on. Here I was in the jungle. I was wondering if I was going to fight a Plantera with muscles or something. Here you can finally see my rockets in action. And yes, I mostly started using my sword from this point on. I was practically invincible, as I could go into groups of enemies without dying. Personally, I didn't like the jungle because it was hard to navigate through, but at least I got decent upgrades. Kind of an underwhelming boss if you ask me, but I had to defeat her nonetheless. Kind of an annoying fight because she kept flying away from my attacks, but it was still easy, so we move on. The dungeon was my biggest challenge yet, and you guys could probably figure out who the boss would be here. I was absolutely obliterating everything that was standing in my way, so I had high hopes for the boss, and even for the rest of the run. When I was getting close to the boss fight, I knew I was more than ready. I had buffs on everything from health to damage, critical chance, and movement speed. I was unstoppable. So there I was, facing Blue Eyes White Skeleton. I won't speed up this fight because it was fast and interesting. You can skip if you want. Another legendary item just for me. I am finally at the end. I was saying to myself as I was walking this hilariously long hallway, but little did I know, there he was, but I had to beat the pillars first in order to free and fight him. And with that done, I was finally able to fight the MoonLord. I was so overpowered that I could just sit there and hit him in the face. And with that, I was finally done, or so I thought. I then had to run all the way back outside to fight the real final boss, the real brain of Cthulhu. Here I was, trying to survive against the actual final boss of our run. I'll just leave the entire fight for you so you can enjoy it. And because this took me like 5 or 6 fucking hours to edit. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if I should make a Calamity mod series. Thank you.